As qualifying wraps up here from the beautiful Auto Club Raceway, it is the Lugnuts Summer Recruitment Truck Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by the fantabulous Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right, all right. Just getting ready for the racing here. Got about 25 to 28, depending on who's in the booth and who's on track out right now. About 21 qualifiers down. Nighttime here, California settings on the iRacing server. So, hoping those cool temps offer long runs on those tires.
Yeah, that is for sure. Hopefully some long runs. Should be, 85 laps, the scheduled distance, I believe, here tonight. And it should be a pretty good race. Jeffrey Merck looks like he has the fast time to beat, at least at the moment. So it should be a good race here tonight. Jeffrey Merck, always good on track whenever we get to see him run. So it should be just good fun to watch him race here now.
Yeah, Merck, exceptionally good driver. A lot of these times are going to be a little bit misconstrued. Obviously, with lone qualifying session here this evening, one car on the track per individual screen. So that's where we stand. When we get them all in the pack, they'll be faster for that first lap, but it's all going to be about tire conservation, how your truck pushes off the edge of the corner, turn 2, turns 4, and if there are cautions here tonight, what admin penalties do come down, along with tires are going to be king, and obviously having that fresh air.
Yeah, that is for sure. And one of the other big things here is just going to be fuel management. Big racetrack, so fuel's going to definitely come into play if we go green for a while. And I'll let you get through the starting lineup here. Row number 1, kicking them off.
Yep, Jeff Merck, fast time 41.903. Outside pole, Travis Browder, Mr. Rowdy, 41.938. So 300ths off the fast time there. That is your front row. Mitch Reeves, 3rd. Scott Patton, 4th. Justin Michael, 5th. Kevin Winter, 6th. Chris Boyle, 7th. Wes Holland, 8th. Ken Richardson and the number 10 machine tonight. That's 3 Thursdays in a row. He's been a different number. He's 9th. Jack Watts, 10th. Vernon Markheim, 11th. James Noon, 12th. Robert Matisse, 13th. Judd Danielson, 14th. Brandon Murray, 15th. Wally Tierheimer, 16th. 17th. David Johnson. Anthony G, 18th. Brandon Thornhill, 19th. Josh Scott, 20th. Trent Drum, 21st. Cody Maddox, 22nd. Chris Chief Shaw, 23rd. Non-qualifiers, Jeff Gilmore, 24th. Ronald Klein, if he takes the field, 25th. Jake Hodge, if he gets internet back, 26th. And Kerry Cleaver, 27th.
Well, I don't think Ronald Klein will be taking the field here tonight, because he mentioned that he's going to be doing strictly admin duties, I believe.
That is a possibility.
I think he mentioned that on the Facebook post. He'll be looking and keeping an eye on these drivers here tonight. He hopes for only 2 to 3 cautions at most, although my prediction, and I'm going to make a prediction here, I say we see about 4 cautions.
Yeah, a little bit high there, in my opinion. I'm shooting for 1 at most. These guys can drive. They just got to watch. I think the key thing, if we're going to have minimal or high amounts of cautions, is early on, when everyone has the fresh tires, when everyone is under the same blanket. But there are no fast repairs, so these trucks do pile up damage, and it does not want to turn. So that included no fast repair, 70% fuel load, along with a 17 incident limit cap here tonight.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see. No fast repair, low incident cap. Not really low. That's about what it is for the regular
Normally.
series.
Oh, yeah. Just, I think, 2x up, allowing for, room of error during our recruitment series. With it's in hosted session, but password protected. So, the guys could get in, could not get in. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out here as we just get ready to go racing. And we'll be green here in just a few moments. Ronald Klein from the booth. And, of course, Jeff Merck brings us to the green. There we go, racing. Of course, everyone out on YouTube, let me know how I'm sounding because I'm watching my levels. It looks like I'm bouncing up and down. We got one blowing up their engine, it looks like.
Oh, I didn't see it there, Matt. I'll be looking for it.
I saw
to see who.
I don't know if it was track dust or engine smoke, but I saw something that didn't look, you know, quite right.
I think it might have been track dust or connection bounce there.
That makes sense. That makes a little bit more sense. I thought we were watching someone's engine go up like a, you know, sack of potatoes.
Right, well, Jeff Merck looks like he's going to lead this first lap. Mitch Reeves in tow. Justin Michael fighting for third. There's Browder diving down on Kevin Winter.
Yeah, Travis Browder had a really good starting spot here tonight. That's one of the more recent times we've seen him start up towards the front of the field. Actually, probably one of the most recent, I'd say. But he's looking for a good run here tonight, and it should be interesting to watch here.
Yeah, Kevin Winter actually gets past Browder. A lot of good drivers back there behind Kevin Winter, Scott Patton, Wes Holland. Two guys right there that have seen the podium position over the first couple weeks here.
Yeah, that is for sure. And side by side, Wesley Holland is. Holland looking for the position, still on Scott Patton. Now, Patton, of course, winning the race a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks ago. But looks like Wes gets the spot, and he'll get it quite easily, too.
Yeah, Scott gave him a lot of room on the top side there. He could have, you know, pinched him down on quarter entry. There goes Ken Richardson, maybe taking advantage of some extra draft. Now sneaking up on Chris Voiles there. Jack Watts now below.
It looks like Watts actually has the faster race car than Ken
wide.
Richardson. Yep, for a moment, they all think better of it, and good on them there. 4 wide, not the situation I'd want to be in right now as one of these drivers, especially we're only 4 laps into this race. And we got one around. That's Judd Danielson.
Caution's going to come out, I think.
Yep,
no caution yet.
Thornhill's in it. Now it is. Thornhill's motor's gone up like a sack of potatoes, and that's Thornhill out of this race. You can see it, just there it is.
3 wide push. Maybe Wally came up a bit, not quite sure. That was tight racing until that was contact there. Brandon Murray with contact.
Well, Wally came up, Judd came down. It was a little bit of both.
Meet in the middle, yeah.
And, of course, everyone that was an unfortunate bystander got pummeled because of it. So, Jeff Merck, your leader, 5 laps in. We'll be right back on the American Sim Network. Back live here at Auto Club. Jeff Wood with the green flag and Jeffrey Merck, your race leader.
Yep, going to be getting back to green after that caution. Couple guys sitting on pit road still. Wally Tierheimer, Brandon Thornhill. I think Judd was able to get back at it. Waiting for that pace car to drop. Picking up speed for whatever reason right there. There goes the Mustang. It's up to the leader now to fire at his discretion. There he goes. Back to the loud pedal. Green flag out.
A good restart for Jeffrey Merck there, out and away. And you notice Justin Michael drops to the bottom of the racetrack there. And yeah, what I thought was someone's engine going off was in fact just dust off the bottom of the racetrack. Michael kicking it up as they come back to the green. And Michael's in fourth right now. If anyone's got a good chance of winning this race, I'd say he's definitely one of them.
Yep, I think we got to get a little bit spaced out. Tires got to come into a factor for anyone to conquer Jeff Merck at the moment. But those top 5 guys look pretty well set to do that. Battle back there again. Kevin Winter, Travis Browder.
Yeah, Browder looking pretty fast right now, so he's trying to work his way up through the field. That's going to be hard for him to do, though, on the bottom of the racetrack. Auto Club's one of those tracks where that very bottom lane, not the quickest way around. You want to be at least that first seam up through the corners.
Yeah, you do. Unless you're in the A car, it works down there. But, well, at least in real life. But on this sim, that's a dangerous place to put some tires. You could snap a vehicle around real quick the lower you get below that white line.
Yeah, that is for sure. And you can see here, Jeff Merck got passed there by Mitchell Reeves. He is your new race leader with, what, 75 laps to go?
Yep, around that mark. And, you know, that's just due to probably Jeff Merck burning some tires down and missing a corner at this point. Looks like he's fading pretty quick. We'll have to see if Kevin Winter, who's now side-by-side, almost side-by-side with Justin Michael. Wes Holland just sit back at third, conserving a tad bit.
Yeah, that is for sure. And you see right behind Justin Michael, Kevin Winter, he peeked his nose under him, and now he's going for the pass down the front straightaway here at the Auto Club Raceway. Kevin Winter looks to the inside, doesn't get it done yet.
He blocks inside with that 78 labeled machine. Car coming out of the pits, that's Judd Danielson. He's going to have to let the field go by. Kevin Winter, I'm worried about his tires already. He's taken long dives into those corners, both into 2 and into 4.
Well, Kevin Winter's the kind of driver that when you tell him to lay back, he doesn't know how to. He's 100% go from the drop of the green flag till either that car's wrecked or the end of the race. And as you say that, Jeffrey Merck regains the race lead from Mitch Reeves. Wesley Holland getting close to that battle for the lead. Now, man, all we need is James Lehman up here, and it's like a throwback we got.
Yep, Wes had to really shorten his corner at the bottom. That allowed Merck to get down and block it. Here comes Mitch Reeves. He's going to have a better run. I'm surprised that truck turned so well. We're 3-4 laps into this run. That's where I was talking to some of these racers. We're seeing quick burn off of that right front tire. About 6-7 laps in, you're seeing a 92-93% on that right front.
Well, when you're going full send into the corner on a very abrasive track surface, much like Auto Club, I mean, think about it. This track is not smooth. It's very rough. It's like little tiny, I'm about to say little tiny rocks, and effectively, yeah, little tiny rocks, basically pointy ones too. Just basically cutting into these tires as you go around this racetrack. I mean, that'll eat up these tires. I'm not surprised for them to fall off after only 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, Kevin Winter up to third. Mitch Reeves still trying to get back to him. I think there's a little bit of a breakaway from about 16th upwards, 17th on back, quite a few seconds off if you look at it. Really, it's a top 15 run here.
Yeah, that is for sure. One driver I want to put a spotlight on. Let's put a spotlight on Vernon Markheim. We haven't talked about him a lot. We haven't seen him run a lot recently, but he's running this series, and I tell you what, Jeff, he's been in the top 10 pretty much all night. He slips back right to 11th place, though, and it's nice to see him be competitive again. You know, we haven't seen him since, I think, last winter's series or even the series before that, but it's good to see him be able to be competitive and put together a good run.
Yeah, that 33, labeled 33 right now. I don't remember the exact number. I'm sure it has a 9 in front of it under league sessions. But Vernon's doing a real good job. I think he's a top 10 vehicle. He's relearning how to run around our guys, and obviously, I think having to relearn how to take care of those tires.
Yeah, that is for sure. And again, you mentioned it. Tire wear is going to be, I think, a deciding factor in tonight's race. You already see it with Mitchell Reeves. He led a few laps, but he's falling off, and that's probably because he's just chewed up the tires. And, you know, when they're gone, they're gone. It's not like you can lay back for a few laps and you get life back in them. When you take them away, you're not getting it back, and you just got to hold on till the next caution flag to get it to a point where you can run them again.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get to see a green flag pit stop, because that's always key battle here inside of, you know, any race, is to see some green flag pit stop, getting into the box, making sure, you know, safe speed through pit road. Oh, big battle position right there behind Mitch.
Yep,
Justin
Travis Browder.
I think that might be, I can't really see the number on that. Is that Judd Danielson? No, that's Scott Patton.
Scott Patton,
yep. Move from him.
You know, not to detract from that, but I want to say, Cody LT1 in the chat, I'd like to know what you don't like about this broadcast, if you don't mind. Constructive criticism is much appreciated, but if you could do more than just giving us the finger, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much, sir. Anyway, back to this great battle for the race lead. We got some good racing. It was Scott Patton. Browder was racing around, still is racing around, and Justin Michael's about to be a factor in it. How about Chris Voiles? We haven't talked about him a lot tonight, but he had a great run last winter season, and he's about to have a great run here tonight. He had that, what was it, Talladega, where he had that surprise win.
Yeah, surprise win. I was about to mention it if you didn't. So Chris Voiles, like I said, in that new Del Taco painted machine. The 28's got a lot of looking forward to him for Thursdays, at least, where he runs most of the time, and sort of on Sunday series. But, you know, if he could find a good steady series, I think he'd be a top 12 driver for sure, and obviously sneak away with a win or two.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what else with Chris Voiles? And you know, you said new paint scheme, and that's when it clicked for me. I'm used to seeing him in that Hardee's car. We're seeing him in something new. I like it, the Del Taco car.
Yep, job switch. I think he works office type stuff for food chains. So I think he got employed for Del Taco, so that's who he's got on the hood now.
Ah, there you go. So he's trying to get by Travis Browder. Browder trying to get by Scott, and Justin Michael trying to get by Mitchell Reeves. Again, like I said, Reeves he's chewed off those tires. There's nothing left on him. And you can see that because, I mean, you watch, and it looks like Justin Michael's going to get by him right now.
Yeah, Justin's got the inside, pinches him high, which is going to slow up Mitch Reeves' corner. 87, Justin Michael goes through. Scott Patton tried to leak in there. There's a semi-battle going on up front ahead of those two guys, Wes Hall and Kevin Winter, but that dissolved pretty quickly. Here comes Scott Patton, though. I want to see if he goes to the bottom here. Yeah, he did. 921, Scott Patton through the corner. Gets Mitch Reeves hanging out behind the 87 machine. 02, yeah, I think that early battle with Jeff Merck, but he battles back there, has a better run off of turn 4 than what Scott Patton does.
Yeah, side by side, 4 positions still. Merck down, or I'm sorry, not Merck. Reeves down on the inside. He'll hold off Scott for the moment.
Car way down there on the bottom. I think that's Jake Hodge, who is trying to work out his internet connection, or that might be Cody Maddox. Oh, going to be a factor here. He gets down below that white, giving Scott Patton a little bit extra room. That's going to cost the 921 machine, though. Scott Patton still having to work on the outside of Travis Browder. Browder hanging tough on that outside. Mitch Reeves able to hang out in front. Looks like Wes Holland's starting to fall off on tires maybe, or still extra conservative. Not quite sure. Browder up in front of that 28, just almost over the nose of Chris Voiles.
Yeah, and you can see Voiles here still trying to get by Travis Browder. That's going to be a hard pass for him. I feel like Browder's probably saved his tires just a little bit better than Chris Voiles has.
Yep, and Kevin Winter, or not Kevin Winter, but Jeff Merck is just, you know, gap in the field right here. 13-0 across the field from second place. So he's figured out something good with that 60 machine.
Yeah, we'll take a look there at Kevin Winter, and yeah, he is pulling up towards the 60, although, yeah, about a 2.4, should be maybe close to a 2.5 at the start-finish line, and let's see where it's going to sit. Yep, there it is, 2.4, and side by side. I tell you what, like I said, Justin Michael, he's going to be the one that has a good chance to win this race tonight.
Yeah, I still think he has to, you know, well, he's going to get by Kevin Winter here eventually through 3 and 4, not through this back straightaway. And Kevin shouldn't give up that high side, but I think the 87 has to figure out a little bit extra. He's not, I don't think he's as smooth, or maybe we just haven't seen Justin Michael in some clean air yet to get that 87. Oh, Kevin Winter had to shortstop that corner almost up to the wall. Here comes the rest of the field.
Look at Wesley Holland there. Wesley Holland, Mitch Reeves, everyone's trying to get around him. And I think they will. At least Mitch Reeves is going to get past.
Yeah, Mitch Reeves got past Kevin Winter. Kevin Winter just missed that corner. It may cost him an extra position, but, you know, long-time battling buddies here now, 78-4. So I think Kevin Winter's going to apply a little bit of extra pressure. Wes Holland not able to get through. Travis Browder now down below the 921 of Scott Patton.
Yeah, there we go. Side by side, Browder might finally be able to make the pass he was looking for originally. He's been trying for this pass for a pretty long while now, so this will be a good help for him if he can actually make it finally. And there it is. He might even get by Wes Holland.
He drove it pretty deep through that corner. Wes is really having trouble on that outside. Had to slow up that corner. Here comes Scott Patton, going to take advantage of it too. Browder's still not able to get full past him yet. Going to have to get a little bit of bump and help from the 921.
Yeah, that he will. Pretty intense battle here. We're closing in, I think, what, 60 to go. So 59 at the stripe.
3 wide.
This is where things could get dicey. We've only had one caution here tonight. We might get a second. You know, going 3 wide, and they're on old tires. Trucks are liable to get tight. Looks like Browder does get tight. Slides right up in front of Scott Patton, and he has to step on the brakes to avoid hitting him.
Yeah, same thing. Scott had to just follow Browder through that corner. Now steps it out again for another 3 wide. Trying to dive it down through the corner. Watch that 921 scoot up the track. Oh, got that truck under control through the center of the corner. Still sliding on exit. Here comes Wes Holland. 921 with the block, though.
Yep, side by side here.
Some good racing here. This is a partial reason why no one can catch Jeff Merck. Everyone else is racing one another, why Jeff Merck runs away.
And Jeffrey Merck, you mentioned him running away. He's ran away to the tune of 1.6 seconds here tonight. So he's got about a little bit over a 1.5 seconds, and we still have a long way to go. Though, And this is a big though. Green flag pit stops. Cannot forget about them. That's going to be a big factor here tonight in just a little bit.
Yeah, quick top 10 rundown for you here, Matt. Jeff Merck, Justin Michael, Mitch Reeves, Kevin Winter, Scott Patton. That's the top 5. Travis Bratter, Wes Holland, Chris Voiles, Bernard Markheim, and Jack Watts. That top 10 I mentioned. So
hey,
good top 10 right there.
You mentioned Jack Watts. He had a great run in the chase last season, just missing out on a shot at the championship. But again, you know, we see him running this season here, and he's improving. We'll see him do great in the winter season. I guarantee you he might be a championship contender.
Yep, just like we mentioned, Chris Voiles sneaking away a win. I think Jack Watts is the next person up that I've seen as of late that's a consistent Thursday runner that can sneak away with the win. Major improvement up there for that 77 machine.
Yeah, right here you can see, look at the gaps, but look at Wes Holland still locked in a battle.
And he keeps fading back along with Kevin Winter on his outside. Those two trucks have faded pretty evenly, or at least been stuck in traffic together, battling through Browder. Here comes some green flag pit stops. Saw Chris Voiles, Bernard Markheim.
And we'll watch Chris Voiles' stop. Gilmore is still on track, but we'll keep an eye on Voiles here. Now, this is going to be a crucial pit stop here because they went from, where did they go? We'll take a look here, try and see how far they went. They went from lap 6 till lap 31, so that's a pretty good distance. Of course, it won't be a, you know, run to the end distance, but it'll be pretty good till about almost the end of the race, about 20 laps.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go a full lap down here. The 33, at least Vernon, going to go down a lap. Chris Voiles extended stay on pit road. Not sure what happened to the 28, maybe speeding in.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. And you can see Jeff Merck working around turn number 3, working in to turn number 3, I should say, as he goes through the corner now.
Justin Michael into the pits after battling for second along with Travis Browder. Smokes the tires to 87 to get in.
And you can see Voiles coming out of pit lane. Justin Michael, as you mentioned, going down. And you said Voiles having the speeding penalty. That's going to really kill him because I think, what, that's 2 laps down he's lost now?
Close to it. Yeah, I think officially going there with the 60 past him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of time to make up.
I mean, he had arguably a chance to win this race here, you know?
Oh yeah, he was up there battling through the top 10 there at the beginning of the pit stops. But that's what it is sometimes when we get to those green flag runs and you get into the pits. You're so used to holding down that gas pedal, it's hard to adjust the truck into the pits.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, that, you know, pretty much kills his chance of winning the race. I mean, I'm a bit surprised how clean it's been, but then again, it is a big racetrack, so I don't see us getting 2 more cautions at this point.
Yep, 14 of panic down. Still some vehicles sitting on pit road from previous incidents. Waiting to see if the leader goes this time, though.
Yeah, we're watching it here as they work round 3 and 4. And here we go, Jeffrey Merck coming in as he's trying to get down to speed. He came in a little bit hot there.
Yeah, he was laid off at turn 4 to get down there. A lot of guys try to do the middle or after the exit of the middle of the corner there to start getting down. Not seeing anything else. Mitch Reeves is with them, so he's got teammate draft and help along with, I think that's Justin Michael maybe, or maybe Scott
David
Patton.
Johnson.
David Johnson, 15.
Who blew right through his pit box, had to back her right up into it. So David Johnson down with him. We'll watch Jeff Merck's pit stop again. Crucial pit stop here. Second to last stop of the evening.
Yeah, no penalty for the 60.
That's lucky for him. Pretty clean stop. Dave Johnson, clean stop as well. The only problem is he lost. All right, the stream go off. So Jeff Gilmore in, Patton out and away, and a good restart for Scott Patton there, or a good pit stop, I should say, as he pulls out.
I think the number 4 may have gotten a speeding in penalty.
Yeah,
He's stuck on pit road.
That's Wesley Holland, and yup, he's sitting there. Man, that's never a sign you want to see well, any driver being stuck on pit lane like that, but especially not Wes Holland, such a fast guy like that.
Yeah, let's see how he comes out of it. We'll have to see who comes across the line first in this pit cycle. Looks like maybe Justin Michael might be at the top of the board over Jeff Merck by 1.2. Wow, that is a huge pit stop difference. I did think Jeff Merck was a little bit slow entry onto pit road.
Apparently, he was a lot slower than anyone may have thought. That is almost a second and a half difference there. Not quite, of course, but it's enough to make a big difference, I'd say.
Yep. Justin Michael fighting through traffic, being the official leader. You did say he probably had a great chance to win this race. Now the 87 machine is picking off those lap cars that maybe stayed out a bit too long or went in a little bit too early.
And it's crazy to see how this is all playing out right now, just because, you know, no caution. So these guys are able to get really, really spread out and just kind of race the track more so than they're having to race themselves.
Yep. I mean, a little bit tightened up here. I see a car blink. I thought that was Mitch Reeves blinking. Could have been on my end. Not used to seeing the O2 blink. We'll check the ping side of things for these guys. Not possibly on my end. Good to see the O2 staying on track at the moment.
And Justin Michael now working 47 laps to go. Chris Voiles, Chris Shaw. I was about to say they're close together. They're not. But Chris Voiles about to go a lap down or another lap down, unfortunately. Or no, only a lap down, actually. I don't know how he got those 2 laps back.
Pit cycle reference, and maybe we just didn't see a full lap from the leader. But yeah, just ahead of the leader on time-wise. Gonna eventually go a lap down as long as his teammate there, Justin Michael, doesn't want to keep her nice. But I think Justin's trying to gap a little bit to Jeff Merck, who is gaining on him at the moment.
Man, if Chris Voiles had a caution right now, it would be probably the luckiest caution he's ever had.
Yeah, it would be for the 28 machine. I think there's a lot of guys out there. Wes Holland, I think maybe Ken Richardson had a speeding penalty. We mentioned the 28 with his speeding penalty in. Speeding in, I really didn't think it, especially with someone like with Jeff Merck with not that great pit entry that I saw. So a little bit of a mixed bag there.
Yeah, and you can see here, as we take a look through the field, everyone, for the most part, spread out. David Johnson, Robert Mattis are pretty close together. About, what, 2 truck lengths, you'd say, separate the 2 of them?
Yep, 2 teammates having a good run through the middle of this race right now. Doing really well. And both of them inside the top 10. 9-10 seconds off the lead, but probably quite an improvement what they thought their race was going to go after starting a little bit back outside the top 10 for both of them.
Yeah, that is for sure. And look at James Nunn in the 27 truck. New driver. I think this might be his first start here tonight as well, Jeff. And he's had a fantastic night. You know, he started 12th in 11th. I know you're probably thinking, well, how's that a fantastic night if he's only gained 1 spot? Well, think about it. He hasn't lost any places either. He's ran right about where he started. I'd count that as a win if I were him.
Yep, especially I think this is the deepest race that I've seen him go. So good to see tires on track for a rookie inside the league. That's what I want to see. Yep. As the admin group watches, including myself, we got to see some of these new guys, along with our veterans, put down some good laps. Now, there's going to be some beating and banging every now and again, like we saw with within that first 5 laps, but most of the time it works itself out like it has here tonight.
And that is for sure. Right now, coming on to lap 43. As Scott Patton trying to get by Jack Watts.
Yeah, Jeff Merck is hunting him down, but that 921 machine, another guy who probably had a less than stellar, pit stop. It was Jack Watts. It looks like Jack may even have some left front damage, or maybe that's just the loop on the left front side of the vehicle that I'm seeing ducked out a little bit.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing, is you go back to Jeff Merck, right? And he's closing in on Justin Michael. He's got about, I'd say, about 4 3-truck lengths between the two of those guys right now. Probably even closing in now to 2 truck lengths as he's got a good head of speed. But the problem right now for him is he'll catch him, and I'm sure he'll catch him. But he's probably tore up the tires just getting to him. I don't think he'll be able to pass him.
Yeah, it'll be a difficult pass nonetheless. Browder probably going to be passed before Justin Michael does. But Miss Michelle out there in the chat seeing what she's missed. Missed about half the race there, Miss Michelle, but glad to have you here.
And right now you see Mitchell Reeves trying to catch up, but look at Travis Browder trying to get up to him.
Yeah, Browder's got back into that 0-2, actually lost it because 0-2 passed him. Browder really hard off. I would say the middle of the corners are probably the worst right now for Browder, able not to equalize his entry and exit.
Yeah, and that is for sure because you notice he just falls back a little bit. And, he'll gain it down the straightaway, but loses it just about all of it in the turns of this racetrack.
Yeah, I also see one thing that, I have done quite a bit in my past, too, is Browder, mirrors the guy in front of him a whole lot. So I see him fall in the 0-2 in line for most part until the 78 dug up under him there. But he was mirroring at least one lap mirror with the guy in front of him, seeing what he's doing different, and that's cost him rather than running his own track here.
Well, the old saying, you'll never be able to be faster than someone copying them. You gotta you can take pointers, but you kind of gotta do your own thing, If you follow up on someone, you're not gonna pass them because you're following in their own line. And you notice Kevin Winter, looks like Wesley Holland gonna get by him.
Wes is working a lap down. I hope Wes realizes that he's first car 1 lap down. I think maybe Wes, Chris Boyle's technically the first car 1 lap down. So Wes is actually trying to get to that 28 machine.
Yep. And, either way, Wes Holland, there's never going to be a time when he isn't racing, No,
he was right here. So this is an awkward position. He's a lap down, but this is who he was running around before that speeding penalty on pit road.
That is for sure. And look at the way okay, see, here's what I don't agree with is, Wes is racing like he's on the lead lap, which I don't disagree with. I think, he is racing for a spot technically. He's trying to get to Chris Boyles. But I don't think Kevin Winter should be blocking him like that, I hope Kevin knows he's not going to lose a spot if he lets Wes by. I don't think Kevin knows that.
It's just those two. I don't want to go too much into it. Pass out behind those guys. Looks like Vardon's going to get passed by the 921. Scott Patton. There's a guy that I thought would be closer to the podium this time of the race, but he always sneaks in there at the end. He's podium. He's podium both races before this and won both Saturdays. So he can get there. I just maybe Scott Patton a little bit late into the party here tonight.
Yeah, and, don't forget here, the other big thing is there's still one more pit stop, so Scott could have a great stop and really shake things up. But, again, going back to this battle, Kevin Winter, Wes Holland. Kevin, if you're watching this, I want to remind you, you let Wes by, he's not going to take the position from you. That's not for position. Don't wreck yourself. Don't be Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, both those guys running extremely hard. Probably not too pleased with one another. Back and forth, that's for sure. Tightening up here at the front, though, Matt.
Well, here's a question. Was there ever a time they were pleased with each other? Because as long as I've been broadcasting, I don't think they've been pleased with each other.
Yeah.
That's gotta be, what, 2 years now I've been here with Lugnuts, I think, almost?
Yep. So here they go. Merck's looking for the lead. Kevin Winter's looking for position. Wes Holland's just trying to get past those guys. Justin Michael with a quick block through the center of the corner.
Well, Wes Holland might get the lucky dog spot. There's Chris Voiles.
Yeah, Chris Voiles just been holding on forever. Chris Voiles is another, top 10 truck himself. It's not like he can't run around this group.
Yeah, Voiles had that bad pit stop. Well, Voiles had the same thing that Wes had. He had the
speeding
penalty, yep.
Here goes Wes past the 28.
Here comes Winner's in the
Kevin
wall.
Winter in the wall.
3 wide. Oh, boy, that could have ended so badly.
Yeah, Wes just ducked way down low, but Scott Patton already beat him to it. I think the 4 is going to give up the position eventually to the 921, but that was scary. That battle back there between Kevin Winter and Wes Holland. Oh, Wes into the wall, into the wall, coming down.
Saves it.
Caution.
But he's going to kill his chance of getting back on the lead lap and, I'd say, of winning this race, unfortunately.
Yep. So both the 4 and that 77 labeled machine probably just a complete overdrive battling one another.
And that is where that comes back to bite someone inevitably.
Well, we were doing all that, seeing Wes Holland go through the center of the infield. Jeff Merck reclaims the lead.
Yep, Merck back to the point. Not by a big gap, though. Only about half a second.
Well, I think the key thing you mentioned was there is still one more technical green flag pit stop. They're almost in the earmark of going down for it to, short pit. But we saw a 1.2 to 1.5 second gap from Justin Michael to Jeff Merck. There's not going to be a lot of time for Jeff Merck to make up that much speed and time distance around the speedway if he has to do it all over again.
Yeah, that is for sure. And that'll be the big problem. So Merck has got to gap Justin Michael pretty big amount here and then have a near perfect pit stop, I'd say.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you Justin Michael will have a good pit stop. We got to see how well the 60 tries to improve his pit stop coming up on the 2 machine of Brandon Murray. Ducks to his inside. Going to have not the preferred corner entry here, but tries to get back to the top side, then goes through the motions. That'll put Brandon Murray a lap down in 16th spot, and he had damage from that first caution.
Yeah, and you notice Murray they get by Murray. Justin Michael stayed right up to him almost till he got by him. I watched the way he cut down. It was just at the moment there to go right down. I mean, that was a very interesting move there.
Yep, Justin trying to use all the draft possible. Obviously Merck's figured out something great here at California tonight.
Yeah, that is for sure. And, Justin Michaels figured out something good, too. Although, that's the thing. Justin Michaels always figured out something good, I feel like, at every racetrack we've gone to,
Yep, I'm sure everyone but Justin Michael wants to see someone else but Justin Michael win. So, Jeff Merck, a little bit change of pace. Mitch Reeves back there in 3rd, but I think, I don't know if the O2 can hold on to it. We'll have to see what the next pit cycle is. We can't get too far in front of ourselves at this moment.
Yeah, and right there, you can see Travis Browder is up to 5th. You know, I think he should, if he finishes where he does, and he even has a chance to pull himself further up the field, I think he should be very proud of tonight because he's had a rough few weeks. You know, you go back to the Winter Series and you go back even to week 1 in Bristol last week in the Truck Series or Xfinity Series, whatever we Xfinity was what we raced last week. You know, he should be happy with tonight because this is definitely a big win here tonight, you know?
Qualifying second, holding on to a top 10, right now a top 5, so it's good for Travis Browder. I think he can run a good race. He's got his head on his shoulder tonight, that's for sure.
And right there, 58 laps in, 28 laps to go.
Early pit going on.
Yep,
Kevin
there we
Winter.
go, Jack Watts.
Yeah, Jack Watts in front of the 77. Or excuse me, the 78.
Well, here's the multi-million, actually billion-dollar question. When does Jeff Merck hit the pits?
Well, we said, what, 25, 26 is a good gap to look at. We're in that window to get towards the end of the race, almost here for the 60. I think he'll run out the fuel. That's the safe thing to do for Jeff Merck. I think, you know, we got to look at either the 60 pitting first or the 87. Who forces who?
And I'm going to say Michael forces Merck. I think, like you said, Merck is going to try to run it till it's dry pretty much.
Well, I mean, Justin got, I think they went on the same time, or maybe I'm just off of looking at it. I could have sworn they went in at the same time last time, but maybe that was Mitch Reeves and Jeff Merck. So I think 87 Justin Michael, a lap, maybe 2 laps older in this fuel run.
Yeah, coming on to lap 60 now. A lot of drivers pitting. Kerry Cleaver, well, Cleaver's still out, but Markeem, Anthony G down pit lane. Love Anthony's paint scheme. I like the rust effect on the side.
Yeah, good looking paint scheme.
Reminds me kind of what was it, Michael McDowell's car he ran at New Hampshire a few years ago.
Remember paint schemes better than I do.
I think it was in 2016, I want to say.
Just watching who's pitting here. Justin Michael's down on pit road. I think maybe Scott Patton is also. Yep, Scott Patton in there. Left side tires up for Scott. Travis Browder on pit road.
Yep. Michael's out and away, by the way.
Yep. Here comes Jeff Merck. That's a full, you know, 41, 42 seconds over Justin Michael at this point. Jeff Merck behind traffic of Chief Shaw right there. Here comes Jeff Merck, slowed up behind traffic, and just seeing Justin Michael come out. Yep, he's going to do what I think he's going to do, go down pit road.
Yep, Michael forces Merck, and this is where I think Justin Michaels won the race.
Yep. Here goes the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves just behind him, pitting same cycle as last time with teammates. I think Justin Michael's just going to, you know, that fresh new tires. I don't know if Jeff Merck has enough time if we have the same gap again.
Yep, Merck in 4 tires, Sunoco race fuel.
Still waiting on the rest of the field to pit. I think most of them have pitted for right now. Here comes Chief Shaw. Jeff Gilmore probably still has to pit, as does James Noon.
Yeah, Noon has to pit. He'll be pitting soon enough. I think he might be trying to wait out a caution for sure.
That's a good way to look at it sometimes if you're trying to get through the field. James Newton actually going to lead a lap there. Trying to see where Justin Michael, I think Jeff Merck had a lot better pit stop. Didn't really shorten up like he did last time on entry to pit road. I'm trying to wait for the iRacing update. Well, I guess it's still a decent time back. 1 to 2 lap older tires than Justin Michael, but sitting 2 seconds back almost.
And Noon hits the pits now. And yeah, as you mentioned, you look at that gap. I think it's too much gap to close unless there's a caution. Pretty much like you said, you know.
I could be wrong. Well, I think the intervals over the next couple laps will tell us what we have to do. We're still within the 20-lap window. That's well enough time to get to the end there for Justin Michael. Did he put enough time? I don't know. It's almost there, so we'll have to see what Merck does. He's got to get out of his head back on that track because he's not gaining much time at the moment. He could have a better conservation plan. Still waiting on to see how it comes out with James Newton and Jeff Gilmore just getting off of pit road.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. He got off pretty good through turn 2 now, coming back onto the speedway. There you go. So here's the question. Coming on to lap 65, so now 20 laps to go this time around. Who do you think, or rather, do you think there will be a caution?
Oh, we've only had one, so there's room for error anywhere on the track. You know, we saw the 4 bounce it off the wall. We saw the 77 bounce it, or 78 bounce it off the wall. It's possible as we get, you know, deeper into these tires. Do we see any 3-wide racing as we go through traffic? A lot of equations to add in to that possibility. But as it stands right now, pretty good racing around Fontana.
Yeah, right now coming on to lap 66. 20 laps to go. Everyone, for the most part, spread out. Look at Jack Watts trying to get by Scott Patton.
At 77 seems to be improving after every pit stop, position by position. Worked himself into a top 5 spot.
Yeah.
Scott Patton having to use a little bit of block to make sure that 77 didn't dive the corner.
And the question there is just going to be if Jack can get the pass. Jack's fast, but I don't know if he's going to be quite fast enough. Scott Patton is just, I think, a little bit of a better driver at the moment.
Well, I don't know. Here goes Jack. I'm worried about the tires. Jack knows he's fast, but Scott Patton is ultra conservative. He will let people go to conserve tires, conserve, you know, whatever he needs to in that vehicle. From at least the 4 weeks I've seen him race thus far at Loose Lugnuts.
Yeah, that is for sure as well. You see Chief Shaw there being put a lap down.
Yep, and the label 21 here. I think he's moved on to the 41 number officially inside of Loose Lugnuts. Scott Patton did not like that outside exit on the corner, but gets by Chief Shaw.
Yep, so 17 to go at the stripe. Jeffrey Merck has closed the gap down to about 1 second, so, or 1.2. So, I mean, you know, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance.
I think there's a great chance here that Jeff Merck gets by him. Now, I'm not sure how quickly we're closing on, you know, the 14 machine, who will be, I think he's within 6 seconds of being put a lap down here with these leaders. So does Justin Michael run into traffic or ill-mannered vehicles, or does Jeff Merck throw the corner one time? I mean, neither of these guys have really messed up.
Yeah, 17 laps to go here. When you look a little further back in the field, you notice Vernon Markheim is, again, we talked about him earlier, having a great run trying to catch to the back end of none other than Scott Patton. Looks like Scott's actually might be falling off just a little bit here.
Yeah, I haven't seen, you know, the podium style vehicle that Scott Patton had over the last and previous 2 weeks. So Vernon may be a little bit better than Scott tonight, which is saying something, as Scott puts a little bit of a block to the low side, which is going to screw up his corner entry as Vernon gets to the outside, going to pinch him low through the corner of the 33 machine. That's going to help him on the next lap or through 3 and 4, as long as Vernon, you know, shortens his corner, which I think he did quite well there. That was a good way to make sure the 921 did not have any speed through that corner.
Yeah, and he goes to the bottom now. Side by side for the spot. Scott Patton up on the top of the racetrack, not going to get it. He'll lose the position.
Yep, just had a little bit of push out of the corner, a little less speed than what the 33. I think the 33 may have dove it, you know, a quarter of a second deeper into that corner too to get that spot.
So 14 laps to go here.
Yep, still keeping an eye on that gap between Justin Michael, Jeff Merck. Jeff Merck now under a second. Justin Michael, I mean, I guess you got to watch your relative if you're the 87 machine, but at the same time, there's nothing if you can do if you're Justin sitting there having a perfect race for yourself, but you know, Jeff Merck's perfect race is just a little bit better.
Yeah, and I tell you what here, this is where things are going to get interesting, because I think, you know, you go back and it might be that Merck will be able to catch him, but he might have a problem passing him.
Yeah, who knows? Still waiting to see some of these vehicles. About 12 on the lead lap, 18 total, 1 lap down. I think that'll leave us with the cars on track, but still seeing some competitive racing out there from lap down guys with one another. 15, 21, and then Browder sitting out behind it, watching it go on.
They're right there, 12 to go this time by. And you look further back, it is close racing, but the big battle at the lead. It is now a half a second gap right here.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back, looking to see which guys are a little bit beat up here on the lead lap, but none of them really. It's just, you know, I'm just trying to see time difference if, you know, Justin Michael gets to the back end of this field. He possibly could. I think the 14, who's the next car in 12th place, is just a little bit upset out of the groove with no draft help and right front nose damage.
And right here, 11 at the stripe. We'll take a look back. Look at Scott Patton, or I'm sorry, David Johnson. He's again another lap down driver, but he gets by Scott, and he's trying to get by Chris Voiles. I think that might actually be for position there.
Well, David Johnson, Chris Voiles, you know, battling for that lap down, obviously had to get past a lead lap car. Not quite sure. Maybe on a camera angle, I missed Scott, you know, hitting turn 4 or something. Maybe some right front spoiler damage. I'm quite surprised to see the 921 fall back tremendously in speed. This could just be a tire difference and pit stop strategy difference, even with these lap down cars like David Johnson and Chris Voiles.
Yeah, right there. We're going to have 10 to go at the stripe. Look at the gap for the race lead. This might be the pass that wins the race. Side by side, coming to the front straightaway. Who is going to come out on top? Michael in the wall.
Sideways again? Well, that just lost the
That might have done it.
Oh, boy. That stinks for Justin, because I think Mitch Reeves is now going to be a faster truck than the 87. Good move on Jeff Merck to get under him. Justin unable to hold the high side pass.
Yeah, that might have done it right there.
Yeah, I'm quite sure, you know, Mitch Reeves might be able to catch him. Maybe. Justin's got a solid second spot here now, which is where he might have finished no matter what, with Jeff Merck being the quite consistent and dominant driver.
And 9 more times around, I think Jeff Merck should win this race.
Oh, yeah. Barring anything spectacular on the speedway, which will upset things.
Like a green-white checker finish.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know, Jeff Merck's not going to give up position, and everyone behind him should go in for tires.
Yeah, right now, 8 laps to go, and everyone else, for the most part, spread out. Jack Watts looking for position. And Jack Watts might have a chance here at Vernon Marquis. They're not too far apart, you know.
Yep, 77 is a good, solid top 5. Like I said, I liked how he went through his last pit cycle. I think he improved over the night through each pit stop.
Seven laps to go here. At the stripe, and it is getting intense. Now, here's the question. Do you think Justin Michael, it's a 3-second gap, do you think it's too much here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jeff Merck's going to have to hit the wall himself, and then you throw Mitchell Reeves into the equation. You know, Mr. Podium there, the 0-2. It's just, you know, I don't know. Jeff Merck has this one, barring, you know, shenanigans on the track, and, you know, obviously Jeff Merck missing his own corners.
Yeah, 6 at the stripe here.
Shout out again to that 17 machine, Anthony G. 11th place, going to be a lap down eventually, maybe, if the leader can get to him. But what a solid run here tonight for that rookie. Yeah,
without a doubt. It might even be a top 10 finish, although it looks like it may just be too much to get by Jeff Gilmore, unless Gilmore has something catastrophic happen. That's what, half a straightaway. And to answer Michelle's question in the chat, Wes Holland got far back. He had a speeding penalty, and with no caution, not really able to recover from that, so he is 4 laps down.
Along with his front stretch wall hit when he was battling Kevin Winter.
Yeah, that didn't help either, too much either. Five at the stripe now.
Yeah, it's just a matter of Jeff Merck loses this race or someone else loses it for Jeff Merck, because he has it all wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. 87's really worried about, you know, if the 02 is going to catch him, and even if the 33 is going to catch him at this point. Merck's still working hard around the speedway. Justin Michael getting a full mirror of Mitchell Reeves, like I mentioned. Just looking through this top 10 here. Another surprise, guys. We wind down closer to 5 laps to go. James Noon, 9th place. He's a rookie out there.
Yep, Noon having a good run. I think all the rookies have been having a good run these last few weeks, you know?
Yep. I mean, at least 2 of them here tonight. I mean, Scott Patton's a technical rookie inside the league, too, but he's wheeled off a couple wins already inside the league, so he's doing well. Vernon, technical rookie, too, numerically wise speaking. When we get back to the league session, he's up there in 4th spot. So, yeah, like you mentioned, tons of guys up there that have usual 9 numbers in front of them on the league sessions.
Yeah, Vernon, though, he's having a great run. He, again, top 4 finish here tonight, top 5 finish for him. Jack Watts looking potentially for 4th with 3 laps to go at the line. He might have a shot at it.
Yep, Cody Maddox getting a shout out there on the YouTube side of things. He's 9 laps down. Early damage there, I think, for Cody was last involved in that first wreck, has really slowed down his machine, unfortunately. A lot of time spent on pit road.
Yeah, that is for sure here. And right now,
speaking of 2 drivers that have found each other, Matt, if you want to go back to where Wes Holland is sitting at.
Oh boy, don't tell me. Yep. Well, I mentioned a green-white checker.
These two drivers always
feeling,
find one another.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. But
they're out here burning each other's stuff up again.
Now,
I'm hoping we're not going to get a green-white checker because
Wes is 4 laps down, and Kevin Winter is, I think,
still on
the lead lap. Kevin, if you're listening, or if you got a crew chief listening, you're on the lead lap. He's 4 laps down. Just let him by. Let him have this one. There'll be another time. You don't need it. But
these two are not going to let each other go. That's for sure. I just wanted to point it out. Yeah, I just wanted to point it out because it's funny. They all say I always get wrecked by the same guy. Usually, same guys with the same amount of speed usually find one each other race to race.
Well, you know why? Because they've got competing brand. They've got the same brand on the hood. They're both Anheuser-Busch cars.
There we go.
You got Budweiser and Busch. They're drawn to each other. It's a science. Jeff Merck, half a lap to go, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
As he's coming down the back straightaway at Auto Club, the ASN camo car. You know, every time I see an ASN car on track, I always talk about the ASN curse, or as it were. I guess I can't really talk about that anymore, because I think that's, 2 times I've seen Jeff Merck win with this thing now?
Yep,
coming
and
across
he does.
The stripe.
He takes it to the checkered. Second's going to be Mitchell Reeves. Justin Michael is going to hold on to third, get a podium out of it. So and good on him for that.
Mark came 4th. Watts, Browder, Patton, Winter, Nunn, Gilmore, and the rest of your finishers across the top of your screen. Jeff Merck, I mean, you know, you can't say you're surprised. He had the car to beat, the truck to beat, I should say, all night long. He led 52 laps, so what, more than half of the race. I mean, just shy of 30 laps that he didn't lead, or just over 30 laps he didn't lead. I'll let you talk to our race winner, Jeff. Take it away.
All right, Mr. Merck getting down to the start-finish line here. You know, what a race you had. Obviously, I think the best truck on the field. What did you find without giving away your secrets?
It really wasn't no real secret to it. I mean, it's just tire conversation with these new tires. You got to really be able to find a way to get through the center of the corner without killing the tires. And I figured something out. Man, she was fast. I like this truck. I like the set. Everything about it. I think the pros are giving iRacing a lot of feedback on the way the cars feel, and I think we're getting back to some good handling race cars.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, too, with all the updates and all the little extra things we've seen since the pros have come down. And by pros, I mean those NASCAR guys, as my wife yells in the background. You know, we still got, you know, we're out of the Bristol week, which I think was a good change of pace for the league. What did you feel on the track? You know, dominating out front a lot, 52 laps led. Do you find yourself, you know, in a different mindset when you out front too much?
Well, no. I mean, this is a sim. So as a race car driver, I mean, you want to be out front. I mean, that's the whole point of it. So if I'm not out front, I want to be out front type of scenario, you know.
There we go. But you know, Jeff Merck coming back, got an off week to run here Thursday at Lugnuts. You know, coming out here, taking a win home. Who do you got to thank?
Yeah, I have to thank my teammates. Over the Top Motorsports had two over the Top Motorsports had 2 drivers, and we finished 1-2. Just got to make the big boss man smile. Glad I could bring this win home for him. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. He paints most of the paints in here. And anybody that's ever tried to paint one of these things knows it's not an easy task. ASN for broadcasting. I like when ASN broadcasts, and as he says, it broke the ASN curse with the ASN Chevy Silverado, as Matt Egan likes to say.
Yeah, twice now.
Ronald Klein, all the admins, You know, we're human too. We make mistakes. Last race, let's see, let me see if I can find his name. Jake Hodge. I'd like to apologize officially to Jake Hodge. I accidentally kicked him out of the Cup race at Bristol last week. So, Jake, if you're listening out there, and I appreciate it, all my fans out there in YouTube land. I don't win them all, but I try, and we brought it home tonight.
All right, Mr. Merck, thanks for that, and hopefully we get to see you on Saturday, buddy.
But yeah, planning on being there.
You know, one way to look at being kicked out of that race on Saturday night, he had a Bristol race with no incident points and brought the car home in one piece.
Yep, there we go. Second place up, Matt. Do you want it?
I'll get it for sure. That's Mitchell Reeves, who ran a fantastic race. Mitch, you've got a copy on me.
Yeah, we got you, Matt.
I'm going to be honest and say about 25 laps in the race or so when you started falling off for the first time, I kind of had you written off, but you found something that hooked that truck up towards the middle half of this race. What did you find in the track?
Well, we were just trying to save tires there at the end, Matt. I mean, we the first league race in the winter series, that's how we won the race. But after a few new builds, different tire build and some stuff like that, really kind of struggled on the longer run, saving like I did last winter, and kind of pushed a lot out of turn 4. But hey, for there to be 2 over the top trucks in the race tonight, and we finished 1-2. That's pretty dang cool.
Now, what was the strategy coming into the race tonight? Was it always going to be a tire saving game, or were you going to just try and go for it in the beginning and then save? What was the whole mindset?
Well, with the way these summer recruitment leagues go, it's kind of hard to have a strategy. But Ron on Sunday night, laid down the law, and I think a lot of people took it seriously, as it showed tonight with 1 caution, or maybe 2. But I knew going in we would have probably a decent race, and once we got that first pit stop out of the way and we were spread out, I knew all it meant was tires. And one thing that was big on us is we wanted to try to, run it out as far as we could, because we knew the newer tires would really help on the long run, and it showed.
Yeah, only 1 caution here tonight. Any sponsors you want to thank? Yeah,
I got to give you a shout out to racegear.com. Seems like every time I say this every interview, since they've been on the car, we have been podium central. I'd really like to get back in winner circle. I feel like I've been second and third too many times to count lately, but hey, I'm still okay with that. Glad to show them off and everybody else. Over the Top Motorsports, huge shout out to Jeffrey Merck. Awesome for us to be 1-2, and we also won on Sunday night too, so that was a big deal. Loose Lugnuts as always. John Herrick with Over Top Paints and Designs. You guys up in the booth, Matt and Jeff, everything you guys do, and last certainly not least, my girlfriend for allowing me to have this crazy racing addiction that is year-round, and I love her so much for it. So,
all right, well, thanks for talking to us, man. Great job on the finish. We'll see you in Victory Lane, hopefully real soon.
Thanks, man.
All right, last up on the block, rounding out our podium with Jeff Wood, is Justin Michael.
Yep, Justin Michael, except for, that hit off of turn number 4, I think you did not want to be up there on those old tires battling for the lead. At least that's what it seemed to me. That little ding really slowed you down, and I think you resigned for second place no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. He Jeff had something figured out, especially in turn 1 and 2. It was killing my tires trying to do what he was doing. And 3 and 4 I kind of learned throughout the race, so we got a lot better there. But yeah, we didn't have anything for him. He definitely classed the field.
No doubt. I mean, you got the 511 tactical machine back to the podium. I know people may get tired of seeing you win, but like I told everyone out there on the broadcast here tonight, Justin Michael wants to win every weekend, every darn race that he puts himself in. You put yourself in a great position. I think probably the more dominant person through pit strategy, and that's the last thing we'll talk about, is I think could you have done anything more on pit road to gap Jeff Burke maybe half a second more?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I was pitting a lap before him, and I know the tire difference made up probably a second or so, but we really got on pit road quicker than him, and I think anybody else, and that was really getting us further in the lead than what we would have been. So that helped us a ton. It's just he saved tires and had a better line. That's all it was. So he could run us back down real easy.
Yep, there we go. Sometimes that's all it takes, but it was a 1 caution race, which we'd like to see here. Sometimes doesn't help everyone, but That's what it is here tonight. Justin, go ahead and thank those of you need to.
It's everybody out there watching, like always. Hopefully, we put on a good show for them, and you guys always call a good race, and John puts on a great leg. So hopefully, we'll have some more good races coming up here this weekend.
All right, Justin. Hope to see you then.
Thank you.
All right, folks. And from all of us, the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we'll see y'all in the next one.